I'm
So,
sorry to hear that.
yeah, when we cooperated, the government helped us, helped our family, relocate from Mexico to the United States. And my father was, a fugitive at that time. And they gave him a visa for him to enter the country along with my older brother, who was also, by that time, had been deported because he was born in Mexico. And my father just couldn't take the pressure of what he had done and decided to go back and basically face the consequences.
And your older
Um,
brother?
my older brother is actually, he's doing well. He's free and living a normal life. It's, just looking back, just to think about everything our family had to go through just for that chance of a normal life that many of us could kind of take for granted. Um, and I think this is a great example, especially what's going on in Mexico, that people always want to claim cartel and claim the money, but no one ever wants to acknowledge, all the suffering that goes on,
Yeah.
when you're at any part of that life, right? Because I will acknowledge, just to give you um, a little bit of history too as well, that I had an older brother who died of a heroin overdose when I
Mm.
was 13, and and to my family, they didn't blame the drugs. They blamed, my brother for using them. And, I remember we warned them, just like every Mexican family would. And, a week later, it was back to business. Um, and I think, like I always knew better. I feel like it was in my nature that I knew better, but I was just in the world that I felt like, you know, to me at that time, I thought it was going to, I took the easy road. Little did I know that was going to be like, the hardest road, I could have ever taken.
Yeah. Sorry to hear about your dad, man. I didn't know that part of the story. Sorry I even asked it, to be honest.
No, 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 no worries. It's understandable. It's part of it. I don't talk about it a lot, but I think it's another, one of those important parts that people think that you know you cooperating is just like you sign some papers and you get this time cut. It doesn't work like that. Me and my brother worked undercover for the DEA in Mexico. For 7 months, and we had to wait 6 years for actually even for the benefit of even seeing the judge. Thank God we were able to make it. And there's a lot of informants that try
Yeah.
that don't make it. You just don't hear about them.
What are some of the things that in the drug trade that Americans probably still don't fully understand?
um, well, again, that the drug trade, it's we hear this word called, we say it, this phrase, the war on drugs. To me, it's important that it's a business, and wherever there's demand, there's going to be some of the supply. I know that we all have this understanding because of movies, because of media, of what the cartel is, but like, let's be honest, that cartel violence, it happens in Mexico. It's happening to Mexican people. Here in America, like me and my brother, basically being, you know, in charge of their major distribution for the Sinaloa Cartel, we didn't engage in violence. It was a business to us. It's two separate, entities basically. And there's gonna be associates or people are gonna go wherever there's a demand because there's a profit. And it's, you know, to me, I think that we have to start focusing a little bit on what we could actually do on this side, because I don't think that we, even for the government, I think that what President Trump, designating the cartels as a terrorist organization, I think it's great, overall, you know, but it's great overall for the Mexican people, to take some of these organizations down that are basically have so much influence and power, on the government, on the people. You, it, it's important that you don't let someone, grow to a point where they're uncontrollable.
Yeah.
Um, But I also think that there's so many more things that we could actually do here in the States that we're not considering. Because, if you look at, operation in Colombia, right? They did great. There's no more large drug cartels, but cocaine, uh, the manufacturing of cocaine in Colombia is up. I think they said like 68% in the last 15 years. The only thing that changed was that they don't use violence. All these organizations became smaller, wiser, smarter, richer, and the only difference now is that you have a Colombian drug trafficker that has a suit on instead of a vest. And I think that that's what's going to happen in Mexico. But I think we have to focus a lot more on prevention, um, to stop the demand on those drugs. It's if it's not Mexico today, it could be Canadians tomorrow, or any other uh, country that's willing to take the chance, or people who are willing to take a chance. Because I know that the word cartel is always affiliated with Mexicans, but here I am. I'm American. I was probably one of two. I guess it was me and my brother, and at one time it was La Barbie. I'm sure you heard of him, who was
Yep.
American born, who I knew as well.